Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rant Over Show. I am Tiffany Castleberry, and my little minion over there is Christopher
I'm
Fagan. You
not.
may know him from T3 Medias.
I'm no one's minion. I didn't like that. Make sure that
We
this.
went with it, so I thought I'd try it again.
Make sure that we're all good. But hey, everybody, welcome to the Rant Over Show. Once my energy comes up, I will be ranting about something very loudly. So just fair
Very
warning.
proudly. You've all been warned. Um, anyway, so you can find Chris on T3 Medias on YouTube and pretty much any social media that's out there. I am on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. I think that's about it. um, I have a book. It is From Ashes to Beauty, God's Way. And I do my own podcast by myself that's on the more serious side called Unchained Life Coaching to help people through some of their darkest times. But the Rant Over Show is all about being fun and entertaining. And Christopher and I think that our conversations on the phone warrant having a podcast because we're freaking hilarious. So by all means, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think. What you got, Christopher?
I mean, you still haven't been able to get us those conversations recorded. Like I've been uh I've been begging for. Our
I
private
tried.
conversations are so NC-17 and rated R. It's like I have to go into another room, otherwise Joy will be like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?"
What kind of friendship do you have
Mommy,
with this chick? She's
mommy. I mean
crazy.
Tiffany. I mean mommy.
Oh my god.
I was talking about that yesterday with the new co-host of my show, and it was like she was like, "Oh, I hate that being called mom." I'm like, she's because she's a mother. She's like, "No, I have a mommy brain and I have a sexual brain. Don't combine the two. Don't call me mommy." And then, mommy. Like the way
Does
okay,
that?
hey, y'all can call us daddy, but we can't call you mommy.
Nah, but see, that didn't start the same way. For you guys, that's like full on sexual, like there's something behind that, but not the mommy thing doesn't seem to go the same way.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like then it brings up like the whole daddy issues and stuff like that. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Oh God, it's like,
So
never mind. I
look,
almost said something.
let's move past that topic. Let's start with what were we gonna do? Friend zone road rage.
Yeah, friend zone road rage was this is the topic that Tiffany came up with, but the way it combined. Because we're talking about friend zone. Let's talk about friend zone stuff. And yeah, that's cool. And then let's talk about road rage. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But then for some reason, I just combined the two. I'm like, there is a road rage. There is a rage about being in the friend zone that, and you guys might not know where I'm going to go with this, but I'll explain it later. But I guess first friend zone stuff. What was it about? Who else
Well,
have you put in the friend zone
oh,
there,
I've
Tiffany?
put tons of people in the friend zone, but that's not the point. No, because okay, so the conversation that I had sent you via text
Hmm.
was, I think it was on the text. We made a talk on the phone. I don't even remember now, but it started because we were talking about how guys can um, more or less have, like let's just use you and I as an example. All right, say you and I are like best friends and we talk and we can talk about pretty much anything and you come to me with problems and blah blah blah, all that stuff, right? But then all of a sudden you've got a new female in your life and you don't talk to me anymore. Like there's no conversation to say, hey, I'm dating so and so, she's a little uncomfortable with our relationship. No, it's just full on. All of a sudden we don't talk, we don't have conversations, there's no response to text messages, no answering phone calls. And then something will happen and you need somebody to talk to. You need somebody that'll understand what's going on. Or y'all break up and then all of a sudden I'm back in your life because I'm needed. That's
That's not really friend zone. That's more like that friend of by convenience or something, or like fair weather friends and stuff, right? Right. I know
right.
what you're talking about though, like
Well, like
friend.
full on best friends when nobody's there to distract you, if you will.
Mhm.
But as soon as you've got that partner, that significant other, all of a sudden, I
It's,
serve no purpose.
it's like I'm sorry. Well, yeah, well, because the partner is actually providing an extra service that the friend is not. And like, oh, if this was a friend with benefits versus a relationship kind of a thing, there's the interesting conversation right there.
Well, but is that what's part of it? Like, does the guy tend to stop talking to me because there's feelings that maybe aren't reciprocated or are maybe unknown, but he doesn't want that to be a distraction in the new relationship? But that's not on me. I didn't do anything wrong. We were just friends. You know what I'm saying?
That could be a situation where maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe the guy maybe was trying or and just was too afraid to uh, let her know or something like that. And then when he luckily, then he, oh, now I got into a relationship. Oh, now I don't have to try so hard because this person's actually letting me touch her vagina. And and then it's like, I guess I don't have to call that bag of potatoes anymore or something like that. You know,
Oh
that's
my God.
like treating them like I said earlier, like that fair weather friendship. You know, it's
I mean, you could argue the friend zone thing. Like, maybe I put him in, well, I mean, obviously, clearly, I put him in a friend zone. We were just friends.
yeah, guys don't have that long of attention span. It's like once they figure it out, once most guys figure it out, I'm gonna rant about the other type of guys later. Figure it out. Yeah, they're like, all right, it's like because it's how much of their attention are they gonna have to give you before? I mean, this works both ways with women
Right.
too. Like how much of their attention that they're gonna have to give you before that light clicks in their head. Okay, nothing's ever gonna happen here. I've called him. I've showed my interest in him, and he's not reciprocating. Or I've called her. I showed my interest, and she's not reciprocating. Time to move on. You know. Yeah,
But
this is where our friendship is.
But like all the conversations, it's friendly. It's just, it's shooting the shit or, just having conversations. Like you and I having conversations. We
Yeah.
have really funny, actual long conversations on the phone.
Mhm.
And I've never thought, well, I needed to define anything or you needed to define anything. And like when you got into a relationship, you didn't just cut me out. Like, but I've had guys that have done that and then they break up and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden I'm back around or they want me back around. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what about when I need a friend? Like
Right.
I've been going through something for the last 5 months. Where was my friend? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Those that's yeah, that's our situation and whatnot. But I've not been in that situation where it's like I was like if we were like in the same area or something like that. But
Right.
let's say if we lived in the same area and if I was actively trying today, if I was I mean, I gotten past the point where I started beating around the bush, stop beating around the bush. If I was actively like trying to date somebody and stuff, I'd make that known. And if it was constantly like, well, maybe I just see you as, but like constantly keeping them at a certain distance,
Hmm.
and then if you were like those other people who she knows he likes her, but then she'll use that to advantage other things, like maybe going out every now and then for this and go and enjoying this and that and the other, almost like a girlfriend, but
Right.
never really pulling the trigger and stuff, and kind of keeping dangling that carrot of hope and stuff like that. That's friendship. That's the friend zone stuff that I
Right.
can't stand. I know
No, and
that's
that's
never
not
been our
fair.
situation,
And I
and
can't say I've never done that to a guy. Not intentionally, like not to be mean, but more of a yeah, okay, maybe he's interested, but I really like him as a friend and I think that we could be really good friends. So, I'm not like brutal in the sense that, he's like, "Hey, let's go out and do something." And I'm like, "My God, no, not in a million years. I would never date you. Let's just be friends."
I mean, have you ever told him I am never gonna touch your dick?
I've never used those words to any person ever. It's never.
I thought that was implied. Like I thought women nowadays, especially nowadays, have to make that very clear. Especially with
I
those guys that
mean,
are like, "Is it okay if I kiss you? Is that okay?" Like, how much of a turn on is that, right? For us millennials, like, is it okay if do I have consent and stuff? I will never touch your dick, sir.
and maybe that's the best way to go. No, I'm sorry. I will never touch your penis. We will never be friends like that.
Yeah, there will be no benefits of this friendship. Yeah, and then so it's those guys that feel like, oh, do I need to if I just keep trying, keep or no, it's more like if you're the person that, like I said, if you know that that other person likes you like that and they're trying so hard, maybe they're giving gifts, maybe they're always taking you to trips, and you're constantly accepting those things,
Right.
knowing what they really want.
That's not right.
That's the friend zone of people that I can't stand. That's the
Well, and it's not fair. I mean, that's somebody that's being greedy and, isn't concerned about another person's feelings. I don't think that's right.
yeah.
We may
And
not
then,
agree on the relationship that we want to have,
mhm.
but that doesn't mean that it's okay for me to become a greedy, selfish, self-centered person, and I just take, and I don't care.
I think they should both. I think you should establish it 100%. Make it transactional. Look, if we're gonna keep, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you ask me to go to, you want to go to the Bahamas again with me next week, we're gonna fuck. You should put it right there on the table, right there.
These are the boundaries. This
And
is
these
where
are
we're at.
this. I think that should work both ways. I think she should come out and then she should draft the contract. Okay.
I was literally just about to say that. So
Yeah,
write it up, make sure it's
right.
signed.
Yeah, exactly. Like she drafts the contract up. Okay, this will give you a boob touch. This will give you like, and then his lawyer should look at the contract and be like, now none of this is based on your level of enjoyment or your claim to a level of enjoyment. You can't get A, B, and C that you've asked for in said contract, and then say, but I didn't, after you got it, but I didn't like it, and that's why I'm not going to let you see my vagina. Like that. Like no. That is subjectivity, and that's not implied here. If you get on the plane, I get to see the booty.
Like, I understand I signed this piece of paper, but I didn't really enjoy it, and you weren't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because
gonna
I feel like a woman would try to use that loophole. Yeah, I got on the plane, but they didn't have extra peanuts. The flight, so that plane trip sucked and all that. Like that doesn't mean the ticket wasn't bought. Like,
right.
I would lawyer up so fast on something like that.
Oh my gosh.
All this stuff is kind of transactional in a way, but there's people who like stay in the friend zone and they stay in that pocket, and they because they're hoping against hope, and then the people that what did we say, that manipulate that? Oh man, I can't. What's the name for those? Because there's a name for it. I can't remember what it was. Like I hear about some girls who just go on those apps and dating apps and stuff. They will agree to go to dates because there is a free meal involved. I forgot what they're called.
Hey, a woman has to eat.
Yeah, yeah. So does a man.
I'm just saying, you can't fault somebody for being hungry.
Yeah, you can, because if his intentions was to see where the relationship would go to a possible relationship, and her only intentions was the food, and did not let him know that.
Well, maybe she was still trying to be open-minded. Maybe she thought that if
no, I'm talking about the ones who there are people who purposely do these things. I know. I'm only going for the move. There is no defending those people. I mean, yeah, there are girls who will change their mind, like we said last week. Now within 5 seconds if you're gonna
sleep with somebody.
Yeah,
a woman knows. Shoot.
Yeah.
But no, okay. And then there's also the other friend zone things that happen of like, say I put a guy in a friend zone and, we're friends, and all of a sudden he gets a girlfriend and I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't want him to just be a friend. And then
that jealousy. Oh yeah. I said it. I look at that as the same thing. That manipulation is like, yeah, I said we were just friends, but I didn't think you were attractive enough to get another girlfriend.
Right. I didn't think somebody else was going to come in and try to steal you from me. Like, that's not okay.
How are you going to have dick on standby like that? That's you can't put a man's penis in airplane mode. That's your convenience.
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there doing it, and there are guys letting them.
Exactly. That's my and the guys that let. Oh man, you only seem to like me when Jessica likes me a little.
Well, Jessica's a nasty little bitch. I don't like Jessica. Jessica can't have you. Mm-hmm.
What about have you ever put a guy in the friend zone after being intimate? Like, was the sex so bad you were like in the middle of it, just giving the shoulder tap? I think we should just be friends.
Okay, no, never shoulder tap somebody, but yes, actually, yes. Absolutely.
Did you stay friends, or did he or was it like the nectar of the guy? No, you after I've taste Nirvana, I can't go back. I can't go back.
I
Drove him
mean,
crazy.
does he still want me to put out? Yeah. Am I going to? Nope. No, we just friends.
Like what? You get to hear wine. Why not?
Well,
I guess it all depends on how good it was. I've been.
and also, look, okay, see, this is the worst setup that a guy can do for himself is talk all kinds of, mad crap about how awesome they are in bed and how what was it? I had a guy tell me, I'm a very giving lover.
That just means that I like to go down. That's all that means.
I mean, for the most part, but even if you like to, doesn't mean that you're good at it. So
but I'm a good student. That's what I say. I'm a giving lover and a good student. I close my eyes and I feel where your hands are guiding. Okay. And if it's in the back, guys, there's look at me, guys. Look at me. There's a lesson here. When the head is pushing this way or that way, or in the back of the head, those are tells. Listen to her fingers. Do it right. Do it.
Please do this, do that. But yeah, once those thighs start squeezing on your ears,
yeah. Once you get, that's a given. Like guys, once you go deaf, that's when you know you're almost done.
Once you go deaf, you did it right.
You're doing it right. But be careful if you do it too good, your neck she snaps it.
Right? She's like, "Oh God, I couldn't control it. I'm so sorry."
I mean, I'm sure there's guys who will accept being put in the friend zone if they didn't enjoy, maybe if the sex was just average or depends on the level of feelings on the person. They don't care if they feel like they've been wanting this for so long. They feel like they finally got it. Now they're put in the friend zone. And like, what the fuck happened? I think that's those guys can get. There's guys have even gotten aggressive and like they try to because they feel like they're owed or something like that. Some people like.
Look, I would say if you were friends with somebody and then y'all hooked up and then you went back to just being friends and you weren't getting anything else on the side, no friends with benefits, no nothing, just trust that you were not satisfactory in bed and she is not going backwards.
Damn. How about that? What if you feel like what if the guy thought you weren't as good as you?
I mean, it goes both ways, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes sometimes
if
you just guys can fake it.
Then why would he go back?
I mean, yeah. I mean, guys can fake it. I mean, when you've had enough already, you just want to get some sleep.
I remember the Friends episode. They're like, "That's our thing. You can't have that. That's our thing. Like, you can't. You faked it." When Chandler faked it because he didn't want to he didn't want to get pregnant, or didn't want to get Monica pregnant, rather.
Yeah.
You remember all that? That was
funny. But they stole that from. They stole that. The quote that I said, that was a Seinfeld quote. They stole that from Seinfeld. Like, when it's enough already, because everybody kept saying it. When it's enough already, you just want to get some sleep. First, I think Elaine said it, and then Kramer said, "Yeah, I faked, of course." I remember there was a movie called what was it called? It was called 30 Days and 30. Like it was like no sex for Lent.
40 days and 40 nights.
Days and 40 nights.
Anne Heche and Josh Hartnett.
And and he faked it. Anne
Heche and Harrison Ford.
No, 40 Days and 40 Nights is oh no, I know what movie you're thinking about.
Oh no. No, Josh Hartnett. I can't remember the female then.
Yeah. And Shannon's Sosaman. Yeah, Josh Hartnett and Shannon Sosaman. That was the first movie that I really paid attention to her. I'm surprised she's not doing more. Had a little crush on her for a long time because of that movie. But there was a part in the beginning of the movie, he was just bored of it, and like she was the girl he was with was on top going crazy, and then when she kept demanding, come with, like the eye contact was like really. It was like, no, you ready? You're ready. He was like, yeah, and then she went like, yeah. And then she was like, she knew. She's like, you faked it. He's like, no, I totally did not. No, you faked it. And she's like, okay, then let me see. She demanded to see
the end result.
And he was like, no. And then eventually he tried to throw it because we were like in New York or something. He tried to throw the condom out the window and it's
Yeah.
just stuck on the glass.
Ooh.
And there was nothing inside of it. And you're such a bad liar. I'm like, why even have to lie? I'm like, I said, guys, do to them what they do to us. I say a girl be a straight up savage. The guy was all like, oh yeah, did you come? She's like, no. I'm like, do it.
Look, why lie? Why lie? Just be honest about it. Look, no, no, you didn't. So when you get your breath, you coming back to finish this. Oh my God, Christopher, how did we go from friend zone to all of this? This is not. Don't lie during sex. I mean, look, it depends on if it's a one night stand. I mean, lie all you
I
want,
definitely would not
suppose.
lie, even on a one night stand. That was terrible. I was awesome though.
On a one night stand, what do you have attached? Like, I mean, I feel like people that have one night stands. I'm not a one night stand person, so from the outside looking in,
that's why she put him in the friend zone.
But I'm thinking if you're a one night stand kind of person, then
wait.
Attachment.
That goes back to the friend zone part conversation though. You're not a one. You said there was a guy you did have sex with, then you put him in the friend zone. That was only one time. Then
you're assuming.
Oh, you gave him you gave him a chance. Oh, maybe we were maybe we were off that night. Let's try again. And then the second you confirmed it. Okay, you're not a one night stand. You're two. You have two night stands.
No, because the assumption is for a one night stand is those are strangers. Like you go to a bar, you hook up, or
seemingly I've one night stand people
you swipe
I knew.
Right or whatever on Tinder. Like those. That's what I'm talking about when I say
lock them in the basement. Escape is impossible. You can scream all you want.
Keep yelling. Nobody can hear you.
Right. Your screams.
The next thing you know, you have been made into a lampshade.
Yeah. Your screams excite me. We are the ones who will be asking the questions. So that's the scariest moment right there. But yeah, no, I get it. But oh man, the one night stands. Haven't had one of those in a while.
Well, I'm sure Joy will be happy to hear that.
Those were the days. And you knew.
Since we're already talking about sex, you said you wanted to talk about crap. I can't remember. Legal Blonde chick.
Oh yeah. Jennifer, glad you brought it up. Jennifer.
Yeah, Coolidge. There we go.
Jennifer Coolidge. Yeah, I saw that article where she said that she thanks to the American Pie movie.
American Pie.
Her run as Stifler's mom has got it going on. Has
got her all kinds of action.
Yeah, over 200. I mean, that's what surprised me was the fact that a woman actually admitted her body count. But the rule still stands for us guys.
Or is that just from that particular time frame?
I think she was talking about from that moment. I think that's when she really started counting. I'm thinking after 37, she was all like, I think I'm gonna keep track of these guys. These fucking guys are coming out of the woodwork over.
After 37, you just came up.
That's my go-to number.
After 37, I think I should start keeping count now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my little black book over here. Yeah. I'm gonna have all my names written.
I used to be able to remember them all, but yeah. But I mean, it was just. But guys have a rule that any number that a woman tells you, you multiply by 3. Any number that a guy tells you, you divide it by 3. That's the real number.
That came from a movie or a show, wasn't it?
Yeah. But guys have adopted it. That's the truth, and that's what because they really think because the stigma that if girls tell you that they've had too much experience, then
I mean that's the double standard, right?
Yeah, that's the double. Yeah,
it's okay for you guys to have a 200 body count, but if I tell you I've had a 200 body count, all of a sudden it's oh my gosh,
it's like we need to. Okay, so we're gonna go to the clinic. Like guys always assume that only girls can get credit up,
right?
But they are the stigma that but guys are all like, I don't want a girl with no experience at all because but I want a woman that knows what she's doing. But if the theory is that if if she has too much experience. They try to cover it up by saying, well, that means she's too loose or she's a whore. No, they're intimidated by it because they're like, oh damn, you've had all that experience and I haven't, and maybe what if I can't measure up? I already know that Tiffany's already friend zoned the motherfucker for not being able to to hit the box. So what the fuck? What do I got? What do I do? Now we're in this place.
Oh my God!
Guys sitting there right now.
Now he's gonna be out friend zone somebody after sleeping.
Yeah, like that'd be funny. I wonder how fast a guy can get put in the friend zone the second he undresses. She's all ready and stuff, and she sees. She goes, "I don't think this is gonna." I wonder what the stages most guys have been in before, during, and after. That's what I want to know. I want to know, guys. If you watch when you're watching this clip, let me know in the comment section. But going back to the friendship conversation, have you ever been? How many of you guys have been friend zoned before sex, during sex, and after sex?
During though, like, I mean, do you think she literally would tap him on the shoulder and be like, "No, we're just friends. You didn't do it." Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm sure she didn't explain that part. You don't want to explain that while you're naked because that's dangerous. His ego will be like, that'll bring up the road rage. But no, she'll make up most women would have to like make up something, and then when they get some distance, then she'll tell them that shit was whack. Click.
No, when he leaves,
I still count that as during.
She's calling her friends, dude.
Oh, exactly.
So and so a chance, but.
We got to talk about that later on. But finishing up on Jennifer Coolidge, so what did you think about when you heard about her body count, her 600 dudes?
I was, so I read the headline and I was intrigued a little bit, but also at the same time I was kind of surprised, kind of like you. Not necessarily that she gave the body count. I think it was more that it's been so many years since those movies that I feel like she kind of.
That's why the number's so high.
Herself isn't the right way to say it, but I feel like, I don't know, she kind of put herself on blast of, hey, I was popular this many years ago for, this amount of time and now nobody's sleeping with me. So maybe if I have an article about it, maybe I'll start getting laid again. I don't know.
I didn't take it like that. I don't think she has a problem having sex with people. I just think that maybe she's
rich. I doubt she has a problem.
She's an attractive woman. She has a little pocket of loyal fans and stuff, and she has a fan base of men who would never say no. So, but I think maybe I took it as a person that's gotten to a certain age. Like I said, I think I said this last week. Like I have dick discipline now. I didn't have dick discipline when we first met. I have dick discipline now. I mean, a supermodel can come up to me right now. I will weigh the pros and cons.
Right.
Back in the day, yeah. Oh God.
Right. Well, yeah, when you're younger, it's just I want to get laid because that's the sole purpose. But when you're older, you understand that it's more enjoyable when other things are involved as well.
Yeah, like my Joy has like great health insurance. I ain't risking that.
You did not. You did not.
That's my boat.
Oh my God.
That dental plan, man.
I ain't leaving you. You got some health insurance that I need. So
what was that we talked about? Dental plan.
Right. Oh my
That's
God.
my baby. Yeah. I'm dental plan. That's why I never would.
No, but I really do. I think that the popularity came during that time because of all they did make it a little mysterious intentionally in the movie, but I think it was the tantric part. I think that probably intrigued people just out of curiosity, because I don't remember a whole lot of people talking about tantric sex and what that means and what it is.
That was the movie that was the movie that coined the phrase MILF. That was the movie. And
okay.
And I don't even think the writer, I think that is correct, because I remember looking that up a while ago, because I think they claimed that and I was like, yeah, it turned out, and I don't think the writer knew what he had when he came up with the line. He's just like, it's just mom, I'd like to fuck, and people were abbreviating things. Like that was during the time before McDonald's became Mickey D's, right? And he coined that phrase, and it just took a life on its own. And it's now it's in the dictionary now. Any word that bling bling is in the dictionary.
Look, you remember? Okay, so you bring up that. Okay, so this is how we go off on tangents, you guys. But so you say that, but do you remember when they added "ain't" to the dictionary, and that was like
Yeah.
a big uproar?
Yeah, even though ain't a fucking word.
Ain't a word. Yeah. No,
Oh,
that's
straight.
hilarious. That's funny.
Some of this is straightforward. Like love JC, Jesus Christ, Coolidge.
Our topic, Christopher.
Speaking about MILFs, Jesus Christ.
You're like, what? Who brought God into
Speaking
this?
about a historical figure that if you wanted to could have gotten I don't want to go off and start.
Oh, let's not. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Going down that road, but I was like that really confused me for a second. I was like, wait, who? Wait,
I love JC.
I love some Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Like, no, we're talking about Jennifer Coolidge. Oh, but my question was going to be, do you think she had sex with any of the actors from the movie?
I feel like
everybody wanted. What was his name? Sure. Was not sure. What was not Stifler? The person he picked on, the person that actually had sex with Stifler's mom. What was his name? It wasn't Sherman. It wasn't the Shermanator. It was. Say you stay away from. He says, what did he say? You stay away from that because he was trying to go tantric. He said you stay away from that ficus. What was his name? Damn it! Now I got to look up the cast of American Pie.
But I don't know. Maybe. I think it would be awkward if she would have slept with Stifler, but of the cast, like that's
I would from the cast, I would think Stifler would be the go-to guy. Sean Michael Scott.
Yep, same. That's exactly what I thought.
I would think he'd be the one. I mean, come on, we know that she's not going to sleep with Jason Biggs.
I mean, maybe he looked really good getting it on with that, apple
pie fucker. What they call him, the pie
he
fucker.
Warmed it up real good, so maybe she was just like, oh,
Finch. Okay. That was his name, Finch. Did you?
Yeah, Fincher.
The Finch, yeah, Finch. Let me see if I can pull up his. Look. It's not like you're gonna be able to Google
it. Did Jennifer Coolidge and Finch have sex?
Like Stifler would be the go-to guy in everybody's mind, right? But let me see if I can share this image here. Share extra camera, share video file, share slides, share screen.
We're still looking at StreamYard, y'all.
Yeah, still trying to figure this shit out. Where's the window at? Okay, I gotta make it to a separate screen.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Let me see if I can share it. Is it working?
I mean, I see it. What are we looking at?
There was an image there that I was like there.
That's him?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's Eddie K. What the fuck? My bad. No, that is him. That's his name, right? Eddie K.
Yeah, that's him.
I was looking for the name Finch. I don't know why I was looking for that.
The name of the movie. It has to be the name of the movie. Ow!
There you go. Eddie K got you again. From here we go. From Finch to that's Finch. But that's Finch. But here's Eddie K. There you go. There's Eddie K. Like
how she's all up on him from behind.
I'm telling you, it's possible. I'm thinking there's a chance that Eddie might have been the one.
She probably got her hand on his ass and everything.
I'm gonna tear you apart tonight, and I'm keeping the fucking dog.
Oh my gosh! Seriously.
I don't know why, but I just have my theories, man. I think maybe.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people. What was that?
My vibrator
that hook up with each other. Oh, okay then.
My phone went. It was like, wait, sir, I'm sorry. My luggage was beeping. No. Modern day bombs don't beep, but when they vibrate, we have to inspect it. 9 times out of 10, it's a dildo. Right.
Well, dildos don't vibrate.
A lot of them do.
Dildo not.
Oh, dildo and a vibrator are 2 different things. That's right. Yeah, that's right. But that's what was that? That was on Fight Club. Now I'm going off another tangent. That was on Fight Club. He said that yeah, when his luggage got destroyed or confiscated, he was like, because the bag was vibrating, and the guy was like, it's probably a dildo. But we're legally required to refer to it as the dildo. We're not allowed to say your dildo. I always loved that line. He looked right in his face and said, your. I was like, oh my God. Sir, what are you implying? But go on. What were you saying? The difference between vibrators and dildos?
No. I was not starting a new conversation. What is going on with your phone?
Let me see. Let me find out. Hey, Chris, did you get ours on your from last night? What? Hi, Chris, did you get why inquiry on your site? Probably meant to say my inquiry on your site, Charlotte Evans. It's a client, real estate related. It's not a booty call. It's not a booty call. I promise.
Not a booty call. We all know.
I'm gonna say, let me check. I'm in an appointment now. For those of you guys who don't know,
enjoying this?
For those of you that don't know, when you call me, sometimes if you're calling my phone for real estate purposes, because I'm a real estate broker, if you're calling me for that and I don't answer the phone, it's 9 times out of 10 it's because 9 times out of 10 the reply is going to be I'm with a client, please text or call back. But 9 times out of 10 that's bullshit. I just did not want to answer the phone.
Don't sell yourself out right now.
No, I provide a service. I provide another service that a lot of my clients really need.
Oh.
So I'm not worried about my phone.
That's a good segue to what I told you one of the topics should be today.
Oh yeah. Oh guys, buckle up because Tiffany is about to start a new campaign, and then she's going to tell you all.
One of my only friends, one of my close friends, surprisingly, told me last night that I should, and he just texted me, that I should start an OnlyFans account. And I was like, for what? My feet? I don't know, what?
Is this Friendzone?
Or
y'all just friends?
We're friends.
Okay, so this isn't Friendzone.
Middle school.
Oh, okay. So this isn't the person that you slept with and put in the friend zone. Okay, just make.
I wouldn't tell you if it was.
So the answer is maybe.
But anyways, yeah. So and he was like going through all these you need to get on there, and these girls make easy $250,000 a year doing this and that, and I was like,
not anymore.
Can I do these things without showing my face, from here down? Would that get me $250 a year?
Depends on who you're pegging.
Why do I have to peg somebody? That's
because you said you wanted the money.
Is that a big money maker?
Look at her considering it. I was joking, and she was all like, "Tell me more."
So I don't want to depend on anybody else.
Because you got to sign a waiver. Look. Oh God, that's too funny. She's like, interesting. I was afraid that was going to go to another segue. Speaking of pegs, I was like, wow, here we go. Buckle up. But no, why was he just joking? Or was he serious?
He wasn't joking. Okay, so I was watching a show on Hulu, and anyways, one of the topics on that particular show or that episode was becoming an escort. And he was giving me a hard time because I've been single for a long time, so I haven't had sex for a very long time. And he was like, well, it's safer if you make an OnlyFans account instead of being an escort. He goes, and then you don't have to worry about actually touching anybody and, going out and sleeping with random people. He was like, you do realize, some of these people are probably ugly. And I was like, well, if they get to pick who their escort is via a picture or website or something like that, I feel like we should have the same ability. You got to send me in that picture, and then I decide if I'm going to go out with you or not. And he was like, I feel like you're not going to be a successful escort. He I feel like you should probably just do OnlyFans. It's probably the better option for you.
We have to say only friends on the platform, otherwise it might get deplatformed. So we'll just stick to something like lately, especially with TikTok. TikTok has been the most sensitive one, but some platforms will demonetize the episode, or consider this it went a little step too far. It'll still stream, but then you won't be able to potentially get much out of it. But so we have to stick with only friends, and then go do the finger guns because they'll know what we're talking about.
Y'all can tell us anything you think about OnlyFriends.
Mm-hmm.
Should it be my feet? Maybe my knees. Some people are into weird things like that. Or my weenus. Maybe some people want to see a weenus. Oh, geez.
You thought I displayed something else, didn't you? You were like, whoa, wait.
I was like,
oh, it says friends. Okay.
Only friends.
Yeah.
That goes back to your friend zone. We're only friends.
My wife said the same thing. She was like, I'll show you my feet.
Right. Some people make some really good money off showing their feet. Like, that is a big fetish.
Yeah, it is. They want you to step in a lot of things. They want to see your feet squish a lot of things, and they want to see things squish between toes.
Are you speaking from experience?
I want to see that. Like they get closer, they probably get closer to the camera and be like, oh yeah, I want to put the pumpkin seeds between each toe, the pinky toe. Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah. I said, I'll just do my feet. And then a friend of mine was like, well, do you have pretty feet? I said, well, I've dated 2 guys that had foot fetishes, so my feet can't be nasty.
Right.
We were dating and they saw my feet. So
like, oh God, what was that? What was that moment like, the feet inspection part? Let me see this.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like, hey, let me see your feet, or we're not going out on a date. It just, but I did have a guy. It was okay. So I was in the Air Force, stationed in New Mexico, when I was enlisted, actually. And we were sitting on my bed watching something. I don't even remember what. And I had taken my shoes and socks off. And so I was just comfortable on my bed. And he was like, I need to see your feet. And I was like, what?
You were like, no, the fuck you don't.
And he was like, let me see your feet. So I showed him my feet, and I'd actually just recently gotten a pedicure. So, they looked really cute and all painted up.
Lucky.
And he was like, can I suck on your big toe? And I was like, I mean, they just came out of my shoes and my socks. Like, I feel like that's probably not the best timing.
That's fine.
He really didn't. And he started sucking on my toe, and I was like, this isn't for me. It's not.
His fetish or your toe? Which one wasn't for him?
Him sucking on my toe didn't do anything for me. Like,
it didn't do for you. Okay. I thought
I didn't. I was like, okay, so you're sucking on my toe, so that's a thing that's happening.
And
I don't want to jump your bones now. Like, it's not working.
Instant friend zone. You know what? That's not fair. You let him, then judged him. That's so not fair.
I didn't judge him. I mean, if he likes it, that's fine.
But you associated the thing that you weren't cool with, or this isn't for me. But you it feels like you brought him along, his whole potential along for the ride. Like, you could have just cut that out of y'all's relationship, but you were like, this isn't for me. You have a this isn't for me box, and you immediately put him in it. 100%.
Okay, but if it's a fetish, right? Like, that's something.
He did say that. He did say fetish, right? He wouldn't have.
Yeah. I can't be like, oh, well, that doesn't do anything for me.
So if y'all would have gotten married, you would have had to have had an arrangement. On the weekends, he's allowed to go suck other women's toes, but they have to be.
Would have had a foot fetish clause.
Yeah, they would have had to be pre-picked by you. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
You have to allow me to suck on your toes 3 days a week, and sometimes do this with your toe. No, see,
or hire a professional. How much? That's the question. How much do guys have? How much if the relationship is worth it? If it's something that you're not, because there's a show on Netflix. There's another Netflix show about dominatrix and stuff where this very conservative interracial couple.
Mm-hmm.
Was like they hired her, and the wife was like totally not into it, but she loved him enough. And the husband was so socially awkward too. He wasn't into the idea of either, but they somehow, I don't know where their conversation started. You could tell that these were the like that nuclear family type of people that I don't even know how the conversation even started, that they would hire an outside a professional. But the professional comes in, she says straight up to him, I forgot what the show is called. It's called Bondage or Bonding or something like that. I think the show is called. And she goes, my husband is into something that's very unique that I'm just not comfortable with, but I love my husband and I want him to be happy. I tried it once and I just couldn't do it, but I don't want to deprive him of it. Otherwise I know he might, go off and just get it anyway. And I want him to be happy. And then the professional was all like, okay, so like, what's the situation? And the thing that he wanted wasn't like, she thought it was gonna be like a sex act or something like that. I think he wanted to be tickled or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. And she was like, I'm like, okay, well, that's all right. That's doable. You want to pay me this much money just to tickle him? That's not bad. And then the wife said, the reason why I can't do it is the sound that he makes after being tickled. That's what killed her. She tried it. She wanted to give him what he wanted. She tickled him.
I want to know what the noise was now.
You will not be prepared. I'll send you the link of the show. And or even just that episode, because each episode is like 15 minutes long. I'm surprised it's like a 6 episode season, and like each episode is like 20 minutes or 15 minutes long. It's weird.
Okay.
But I tell you, me and Joy were not prepared for that sound that this brother made. I could not handle it.
So it wasn't like, enjoyment or just regular giggling.
No, I can't call it giggling. It was glee. It was pure glee. This guy was in like what's that, how the song go? Aladdin, the whole new world. This dude transcended to a level of existence that that nobody ever heard of, hadn't been invented yet. It was the craziest sound I ever heard in my life. And me and Joy instantly was like, yeah, professional. Like, yeah, totally normalized the fact that there's a dominatrix in his house now. Yeah, I think Joy was like, yeah, I probably would have had to let somebody else tag team on that one too.
I mean, hey, I guess that's love. I'm willing to do this for you, but
if your husband made a weird little noise during a certain act, would you allow a professional to handle it for him, or would you just suck it up?
It depends on the noise. It's that misophonia thing. It would depend on the noise. If that noise sets me off, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, that's why I want to know what his noise was.
I'll send you the link. I can't remember. I think it was like I can't remember the episode, but it's a good show where you'll be like, oh, I'll watch. It's a quick binge. It's not. But that was another topic that before, because we're getting close to the hour mark. Do you concur? Because you said something earlier in the show, kind of leaned on to this whole thing where women tell.
There are a lot of women that do. There are a lot of women that do.
I don't see you as being one of them. Maybe you have one girlfriend with that you would, but I don't see you as a gossipy girl to all your female friends or something like that.
So I will say, I personally do not have a girlfriend that I have told everything to.
But the difference between dildos and vibrators and stuff like that. I'm probably that girlfriend. If you want to be honest.
So I do have 2 guy friends that know a lot. Like I have. Okay, so one of my guy friends, I'm still on the tip of the iceberg level over here. We can talk about anything. Like no judgment, from him or from me. We've talked about sex stuff with, partners. Like we've talked about all kinds of different stuff, but not a girlfriend, because so I had one of my friends, we're no longer best friends, but she refused to have a conversation about sex ever, like about any kind of sex at all. So,
and that upsets you?
Well, I mean, so when you're best friends with somebody, so I've got this notion, I own this is a me thing. I have this belief that if you're best friends with somebody, You should be able to talk about anything. Nothing should be off limits. Like if my husband and I are having problems in the bedroom and I want to talk to somebody, but I don't want to go to a sex therapist, I should be able to have a conversation with my best friend.
No, you should be able to talk to your husband.
Well, yes, but I'm saying like, okay, because there's certain things that guys get really sensitive about, right? So there's going to be occasional times where you can't have some of those conversations because maybe he's not open to it. Maybe he doesn't talk about his feelings, whatever the case may be, right? So my closest, most bestest friend in the whole wide world, I should be able to talk to that person about it, right? Well, this
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I've eventually come to disagree with that notion because I've done it before. But
right.
But I know what you mean. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, okay. Anyway, but so this particular person, like, she literally had certain topics that were off limits.
Right.
That like, I won't talk about this. That's disgusting. I won't talk about this. I won't talk about this. But then, so I'm not allowed to talk about all these different things. And then something comes up and she's constipated and can't shit. And all of a sudden she can have that conversation with me. And I'm like, why is that? I didn't volunteer for that conversation. Like, why is it okay for us to talk about that?
I can't talk about anal sex, but you can tell me about the shit. I can't talk about what's going in there, but you can tell me what's coming out.
Yes. No. So, but I mean, Friends is my favorite show of all time. Everybody that knows me knows that, right? And I think that is kind of, to me, the quintessential best friend situation, that you can talk to your best friend about anything. Like the girls would get around and you remember, they'd talk about, who they were talking to and how they kissed and it was so passionate and he did this. And I've never had a girlfriend that I could talk to about that ever. Now, again, I have two guys that I can talk to about anything, but no, it's never been a girlfriend. But I do know a lot of girls that they do have those friends, and they tell everything to those people. Do you like that or disagree with that?
I used to be like that. That was okay because I used to think that was the situation where some men need their own me time and they have their friends that are outside of their relationship and they go hang out with the boys, and women would do the same thing and stuff like that. And you would think used to think that would we could talk about everything. Then I started realizing, especially in my first marriage, that there was situations where maybe those or certain lines would get crossed. Like if a guy or girl, if you're willing to share a problem or something that you're having with the spouse and go into details that you haven't even tried to go into a conversation with the spouse first, I feel like that's
no, that I'm not okay with.
That's a line. That's a line. But a lot of people in relationships do that. They'll have a problem, they won't discuss it, or because they assume that the problem can't be discussed, or maybe there's something, maybe there's been history with their spouse. They're like, he's reacted a certain type of way but this is still a problem with me. And then you go into full detail with somebody like friends and family, they love, whether they're our friends and yes, they're our family, but they still stockpile this information and people just love to be in everybody's business and stuff. So,
well, and I think that brings extra people into your marriage. That's unnecessary.
That's unnecessary.
And, some people, like, let's say, and this is an extreme, because I know there's probably a lot of, not so extreme conversations, but let's just say on an extreme note that, I'm married and I cheat on my spouse, or no, I'm married, my spouse cheats on me. And I go to, a couple of girlfriends or, my parents, and I have this conversation. Well, it's really hard if you choose to fight for your marriage, work through it, and rebuild, and you stay together.
After you've already told all your friends and stuff,
outside people to change their opinion, or especially if you brought your parents into it, right? So now, my parents know that my husband cheated on me. How is my dad or my mom ever going to treat him nice or even cordial? You know what I'm saying? Like those things you should never do, never. Those are 100% not things that you should discuss. But smaller conversations to where, on the positive side, oh my gosh, we did this and it was so amazing and I just had to tell somebody, and those are great. But when you're
I mean,
talking
I feel like even on both sides, like if there's some people who will be firm where they're like, I'm only telling you this as a matter of fact, or only because maybe it applies to maybe something else that's going on in that friend's life as well. Not I'm not. Some people are like upfront. They're like, I wasn't telling you that my spouse did this to me because I wanted your fucking opinion or get you to change my mind on something. I was just telling you, but me and my spouse are already handling it. Maybe
right,
or something like then there's the 9 times out of 10 situation where it's like, oh my God, he did this to me. Let's get some drinks. What should we do? And then now you're just gonna have the whole he ain't shit conversation, and then
right.
she's gonna gas you up, and then you're gonna probably go home. Y'all might solve the problem, and then now all of a sudden that your husband doesn't want you hanging out with her anymore because
Mhm.
she just spent 3 hours giving you the he ain't shit conversation. So now
Right.
he feels like she's a threat to
Absolutely.
the. So it's like you gotta you got to know what you're doing when you first have opening that conversation. Like I'll tell a friend, like, "Oh no, I'm not asking. I wasn't telling you because I was asking for your opinion. I'm not asking for a
Right.
relationship." But
People
if
need
you
to vent.
are trying to get that opinion, or if you are trying to get that support system and stuff, just know that that when me and my first wife were divorcing and stuff, one of the things that or we tried to reconcile, one of the things that she did that was harmful, that I felt like was harmful to our marriage, was the fact that the way she did lean on her family too much to only like give them the negative side of our
Right.
relationships stuff. But then there was a situation that specifically involved like her brother
Hmm.
that was totally disrespectful to our marriage and just me as a man and all kinds of stuff that I just was not going to put up with it. And she had a job with her brother, and I was like, after all the drama that happened with our marriage and the fact it wasn't his fault, he didn't do anything. It was just from his side of the family of the fence that just was tied. And I was like, okay, you guys are working together in what like a fast food restaurant that he owned. I'm like, you can get a job anywhere. You have a college degree. Why are you working over there after all the shit that we just went through that we're trying to climb out of? I think you still working over there and all that the way y'all communicate. I'm not saying don't talk to your own brother, but
Right.
I'm just saying we need to start focusing on this. But you seem to be still trying to focus on you yourself only, and like I always accused her of like building a wall between our marriage and her family, and she just I and it wasn't anything that they were doing to
Hmm.
encourage that. It was just something that she just kept doing. And then and I said we need to start breaking that down. Then I said you don't need to keep you need to pull back from that if you want to focus on this more. And I said quitting that job was part of it. And I said
Yeah.
because you have a college degree, why do you want to work
Right.
there anyway? And stuff. And she looked me dead in the eye and said no. And it wasn't about the because after our divorce, she stopped working for him like got something else a little bit later anyway. It was more. It was the fact that she was already kind of checking out. The damage was already done.
Yeah.
The negative stuff that was only being fed to the family and then when the truth and everything started really unveiling and stuff, my old in-laws, we're still great and everything, but that whole attempt to only feed the negative stuff, that's
Right.
just that shit just it poisoned me and her relationship more
Oh
than it
yeah.
poisoned my
Absolutely.
relationship with them, and that's what I was trying to prevent. So yeah, that whole thing where yeah, oversharing with friends and stuff, especially with the marriage stuff. I'm like, if I, I'll share stuff with my male friends, but it's not something that like I'm mostly probably giving advice at this point. I'm not asking for advice, and if I was trying to ask for advice, it's not I'm not gonna ask on a level where it's like it'll be or anything that's like really impactful to my marriage or my relationship that I'm in now. I have a friend that I talk to about these things, but but he's younger than me, so I now I'm on the other side of it. I'm the person giving the advice, and then if I ever feel like he's crossing a line or something, like if he's complaining about his wife a little too much or something like that, or if I feel like a line is crossed, I'm like I'll tell him. I'm like, no, I'm not the one that you should be talking to about this, dude. Like you, what you need to do is need to get your ass up, go over back to your wife, and do a better job when you go down. And like I told you.
Well,
Otherwise, she'll put you in the friend zone.
I think that's what's important for friends to realize, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I've had a friend come to me with marital issues, and I easily could have jumped on the bandwagon and been like, "Oh, he's a piece of shit, and
He
you
ain't
don't
shit.
need this, and you need to divorce him," and you know what I'm saying. But instead, I tried to remain as objective as I possibly could
He
because,
won't let you have a girls' night, high girl summer, vacation on your own. He ain't shit.
well, but you know, my thought process was kind of like what I was saying earlier. Is one, I want to be a good friend, so I need to be objective. But the other side of it is when they get through this, if they work through this, I'm not going to be ostracized because I chose to talk shit about him and say that, she needed to divorce him, and then they get back together and they're together and then I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's also it's not productive to your friendship. Like, you should want the best for your friend. And the best is not necessarily, dogging out that other person. It's
their choices.
It's
and there are differences. Like if there was like physical abuse and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
that's
then the he ain't shit conversation, or or the she ain't shit. I've been in a situation where a friend was like constantly being put down, and as a friend, I tell them like, dude, like, nah, man, what the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah, no, that's different. But I mean, we're just talking, just issues here and there. Help her or him talk it out. Be a sounding board. Let them vent. Sometimes they just need somebody else to listen. But be objective. Don't be. It's great to have a ride or die. It's great to absolutely support your friend, but
there are ride or die friendships that are totally counterproductive and contradictory to their individual marriages. Like there are friends that will get together, and I'm thinking about a certain another Netflix show I'm about to plug again. In this show, it's called Working Moms. There are two friends who are ride or die, and that's how they are. And when they're complaining about their separate husbands, and they come together and complain about this stuff, they'll encourage each other, depending on the situation, to be and to do the most negative and most selfish shit that will harm their marriage. But they pump themselves up, though. It's like my husband just told me that he doesn't like the fact that because like she had rage issues or something. One of those characters has rage issues. Like, I would blow up in public and embarrass them, and so he accused me of being selfish and only thinking about myself, not thinking about the bigger picture and stuff. And where the friend should have been like, well, yeah, girl, you made a fucking scene and could have caused him his freedom, and the police were involved and stuff. She pumped her up. She's like, well, fuck him. What the fuck wrong with him? You have the right to be in your feelings and stuff. Like this was a conversation that you would think to 16-year-old people.
Right. Yeah.
They're in their 40s. Right. Kind of a situation.
And that's the problem. Is the focus is, oh, I'm just going to be a great friend and I'm going to pump you up and we're going to
you up versus
what's good for the is to be objective and be a voice of reason.
Yeah. You know how many times that friend pumps you up and convinces you probably to get a divorce and be like, oh, well, damn girl, now you getting a divorce? Oh, well, tell me about it later, because me and my husband about to go watch Netflix. They ain't getting a divorce. They just talked you into doing something, and they not going nowhere. Like these friends we're not gonna be divorced besties today. But that's probably another time. Maybe that's for next week. There are mostly single people though. Like, single people will are like the first to tell a married person, to get a divorce in some situations. Well, girl, just leave his ass. I mean, especially for a person that that's been my experience. There's been friends who've never been married who that's the default. Answer. Just dump his ass. Just leave her ass, or this and that and the other. I'm like, well, this is not a breakup situation. This is different. Right. But that's a callback to Kevin Samuels. That's why he used to say dating is dumb, because all dating back in the day, people used to like, oh, what's his name down the street? He's a good man. He'll take care of you. He'll provide for you, and then they just get married. But now, but dating.
That's great.
But what dating has done is given the idea that, because what happens when you're just dating, if you're dating a guy and it's not working out,
done,
just break up.
Yeah.
But that mentality is also carried over into marriages too.
Right.
Oh, this marriage isn't
working. They don't want
to
to work through things anymore.
Yeah. They don't want to go through. Yeah. They don't want to work through stuff anymore. Oh, this marriage isn't working out for me. Like Jennifer Lopez. That's right. Shots fired. I said it.
Shots fired.
She married just like she treated marriage like dating.
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I mean, the first few at least. Her and Mark Anthony were together for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with this one. But
I'm a Jennifer Garner fan. I like Jennifer Lopez.
I do too.
But I thought she was really good. But at the same time, even if
he married above his level with Jennifer Garner, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say that. He's a high level man. He brings in.
I don't care how much money he has. I don't care how successful he is. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking him as a person. You're thinking through it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because you saw the footage, but for all we know, this could be the public persona that we were only witness to. We don't know what was happening behind closed doors. But in public,
he's admitted.
You would see that, and he has said, even in my divorce, like even though I know that there was a whole bunch of things that I complained about, I still had a mentality where I didn't want to down talk the mother of my children, and I would constantly take the blunt of every blame that anybody wanted to throw at me, because I was afraid to, or just didn't want to paint that in. But then I later realized that was the image, that's what she liked. She liked having that image of being the perfect one and making the other person look like everything was 100% their fault. And then when I figured out what I was doing and playing into, I stopped. But I'm not saying that's what Jennifer Garner was doing, there's never been any other scandals. So for all we know, like what you said, he admitted to it, his alcoholism and all that stuff. Like and I saw that image of when he was drunk as hell in the car, and then she was driving him to go get help and stuff, and he was all like, I don't care, I don't give. Like I was like, that's a good woman right there, dude. Like don't fucking give this.
Because they had even separated, and she was still doing everything she could
to try to save the.
Yeah, I mean, it's the father of her kids.
But if there was something about, and not saying that she did anything wrong, and we saw the things that he was doing wrong, but if it was just something about just them being together that just made him. And it was probably maybe he just didn't appreciate it then. Maybe if they were to if Jennifer Garner and him got back together, maybe it would be different now, because he's probably learned a valuable lesson. But it was something about their relationship that just pushed them. Their status was going up. A lot of work was happening, and she just got the blunt of all the probably the shit that he just couldn't handle all at the same time. She just got the worst of it at the worst time. And now Jennifer Lopez is probably going to, now that he's worked his way through that, and that's going to benefit the calm side of and there's probably too much history between him and Jennifer now to ever go back.
It was somebody else for the last 4 years. They just don't. It's not very public.
But yeah, but it was just something about, but for all we know, it was just something about the sound of her perfect, holier than thou voice that just made him go, God! But I'm not saying that's her fault. It's just a thing
an example.
Their history, that past, that one argument that she won that he just can't get over. He just fucking just rages every time or something. And
insane.
And now Jennifer Lopez is now going to get the other side of it. After all that therapy, now she's just getting that bat daddy.
Oh my gosh.
All right. We're 7 minutes over on this one. But that's good because we started late. Because this one over here had to get herself all pretty for you loyal fans.
Well, it wasn't that. It was just my hair just looked like it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, what you got to say before we sign off, Christopher?
Well, I wanted to. First, I was going to try to be a sneaky bastard and try to sneak in a quick movie review on a movie that I just saw last night that I didn't have time to record last night, and try to use your platform to do that and then segmentize it later. But then I was like, but we already talked about so many other fucking movies that I ran up the clock. So I got to do a movie review of the movie Prey, the prequel to the Predator movie.
Okay.
It's a very good movie, by the way. And so me and Joy are probably going to talk about that later. So if you want to watch me talk about movies and stuff, you can check out. This is the same YouTube channel. I'll do a review. I'll do entertainment news and stuff like that. on during the week. I'm less angry and more energetic during that show. But for some reason, Tiffany brings out the anger in me on a damn Saturday, and I gotta go cut the fucking grass after this too. So thanks. So if you want to follow,
you're supposed to be a little bit angry.
So if you want to follow me on to talk about nice stuff like Jennifer Coolidge and how much she's a queen for slaying 200 schmeats, then we can talk about that on the rundown. But other than that, yeah, that's where you can find me at T3 Media. So that's me.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, thank you for joining us. As always, please leave comments, suggestions. We really do love interacting with you guys. And I'm enjoying some of these suggestions because you're providing things that I haven't heard about before and broadening my mind. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram, official Tiffany Castleberry. And if you're looking for the other side of me that's a little bit more serious, you can find me on Spotify with my Unchained Life coaching podcast as well. Feel free, again, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you think. Give us some suggestions on topics that we should discuss in the future. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great show. The rant is over.